Hello, it's me. Great timing. We find ourselves here on this rather beautiful Monday morning here in the UK. It is a bit cold though. Looking at the various messages that the Media Mongrel channel has had. And, my God, who is that handsome chap? And I got a comment from a chap called Nick Barber. And he says, in response to the video that I'm currently playing in the background, is Corbyn's party still going? The silence is deafening. Its support will be divvied up between the Greens and some Islamist party. Corbyn has no USP beyond his own personal and local popularity. So let's take those points one by one, shall we? Is Corbyn's party still going? The answer to that question is yes, it is. It has about 50 to 55,000 members currently, and in the round-robin email that was sent out to gauge interest in the party, it had up to, or a little over, 750,000 interested parties. Now that's no mean feat for a party that's been basically declared as dead on arrival by the mainstream media. And if I think back to when Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party before everything went to pot, then the clearest memory I have of the filmed rallies is the hundreds and thousands of people chanting, "Oh, Jeremy Corbyn." And so to the next point, its support will be divvied up between the Greens and some Islamist party. Well, that's always a danger, of course. But if British politics excels at one thing, it's self-sabotage. The British public are presented with choices and it does divide the vote. And the last point is, of course, that Corbyn has no USP beyond his own popularity in his own constituency. And USP, I believe, stands for unique selling point. But that also isn't strictly true. As I just said, the round-robin email that was sent out to gauge interest in the party garnered over 750,000 signatures. And so that, on the face of it at least, wouldn't appear to be the problem. So what is the problem? Why, as Nick Barber says, is there a deafening silence? And I think it's a valid point. Now, I'm no stranger to wearing tinfoil hat time. It's been a while, but it was coming, and you knew it was going to come. My tinfoil hat. And so here it is for whatever it's worth. Jeremy Corbyn, his main message revolves around unity. And I think this is why he has a blind spot with regards to the immigration issues that Britain is currently facing. Jeremy Corbyn's left history has told us one thing. He believes in unity. He believes in inclusion. And as warm and cuddly as that sounds on the face of it, it has its problems. And these are some of the issues where I disagree with Jeremy Corbyn. My own personal stance where immigration is concerned is illegal immigration should be treated as such, illegal immigration. We should have in place a robust system to judge these people and to be very, very firm but fair. And anyone who finds themselves being sent away because they don't meet the criteria to come in as an asylum seeker, a refugee, and let's not get the two crossed over, then they should be sent back and allowed at least to approach the UK for asylum via the correct channels. We all know that people who try to escape a country are generally doing so because of the conditions there. They may even be under direct threat. And that generates desperation. And people who are desperate do desperate things. Anybody who's watched this channel for any length of time knows that I'm a lefty. But I do have a smidgen of right in me also. So you could call me centre-left quite fairly, I think. But I also think that looking at any political situation with what could be described as conservative prudence is also a good thing. If we, the UK, run pell-mell, hell for leather into total unity without any safety measures, without any prudent thinking, well, that's a recipe, in my opinion at least, for disaster. Not everyone who has a different culture but now lives here in the UK has our best interests at heart. My parents were immigrants. They came here from Spain, and it didn't impinge on them personally one little bit to play by the rules. They still had their Spanish culture. And outwardly, of course, you would never have known the difference, apart from the accents that my parents had. But they did everything they could to allow us, their children, to integrate. They understood at the heart of what they were doing was that they were in a foreign country, and it was by that foreign country's good grace that they were allowed to stay, and that there was some debt owed to that gesture by the UK. To get back to the tin foil hat part of what I was saying, it's my opinion that anybody who espouses a message of unity and communion is not favoured by the British media. I think this is why Rupert Lowe is doing so well. He's totally non-establishment. He is, apart from Corbyn, the biggest threat to establishment politics. And I like that. However, some things being said by Rupert Lowe currently have me thinking he's far too much to the right. And as much as I like the man's honesty and his principled stance against the rotten establishment politics that we have currently here in the UK, I find I can't jump on board. I am too much of a lefty. And Corbyn, whom I don't agree with on everything, still remains my choice for this country. But one thing is for sure, despite the British media muzzling anyone who is a real threat to establishment politics here in the UK, and promoting those other voices who only appear to be a threat to establishment politics in the UK, only time will give us the answers that we really need. Corbyn has had a difficult time politically since he became leader of the Labour Party. And since then, arguably, things haven't gotten any easier. Your party's birth has been a difficult one, as I've said previously. And we can only hope that the British public find your political home and are happy there, and that the establishment doesn't meddle in the voting process. And so, whomever it is we, the British public, are voting for, we have a fair shot at democracy and the power that it brings. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share. It really would help the channel. And until next time, bye-bye.